From Atlanta, Georgia, Dichotomy.
To the woman who finds herself in a committed relationship with a single man. It might not be that simple, but the question is, why wouldn't you just leave him? Instead of complaining every time he leaves the house and tell you where he's going and you say you don't believe him, why is it when he came home you opened your arms to receive him? And if he told you he didn't want to be in a relationship, why do you do everything you can to please him? Told him he was a stranger in your house. And even though you knew who he was and y'all first started to go out, now when you look into his eyes, you find it hard to realize that he's him. Because at this point in your relationship, he doesn't do anything unless it pleases him. And despite his indiscretions, you tell your girlfriends that you would never leave him. And that leads them to say that you're taking your sense of self-pride and committing suicide, or what us men like to call relationship treason, because love is war, and nobody's ever been able to play both sides. So I wonder why you wouldn't just leave him. I mean, it's not like you don't have a good reason. Your mother always told you, if a man wants something bad enough, he will do whatever he can to get it. So if his actions aren't in line with those words, I don't know why you won't just say forget it. But you see, a woman can hear the exact same thing and process it completely different. Because a woman, when she wants something bad enough, she can take something that isn't and convince herself that it is it. Take a square peg, push it into a round hole, and convince those around her that it fitted, but are y'all really to blame? Because if these lames put you in that situation again and again, you have no choice but to think that we are all the same, more concerned with the way your hips turn than trying to learn your name. It's a shame that now you figure you got to give it any dog and hope he's tame. Otherwise, you will end up leaving this world much the same way you came, alone. And I wish that I could tell you that you're wrong, but you probably have a couple of female friends who have already suffered that same fate. And that's led you to believe to get with the dog with the least amount of fleas before it's too late. But I'm telling you, if you do that, you're only setting us up for more complaints, because deep down inside, you know he doesn't make a good mate, because he can't relate to the difference between love and affection, sweet rubs and caressing. And I know you want to try to teach him those lessons, but he says he had no interest in trying to learn, because in turn, doing so makes him feel less than a man. Completely dismissing the fact that if he did so, it'd make you feel more like his woman. Simple things like opening your door before you go in. So then you start to rationalize, well, girl, that's just the way he is. That's how he was when I met him. So anything he wants to do, she lets him. Goes to her girlfriends, complains about how much she detests him, but won't leave him, allowing something to occupy her lifetime, and it was only meant for a season. See, when you're holding on to something that doesn't want to be held, when the man that comes along for you, your hands are full and you won't be able to seize him, but believe when I tell you that there are other women out there that sees him so. If you're going to miss out on something that was meant to be, then holding on to something that never was shouldn't be the reason. You see, there's a reason that a standard is called a standard. It's because it was never meant to be lowered. And that's like taking 3 steps back and 1 step up and somehow convincing yourself that you're still moving forward. And I'm just supposed to not trying to be too forward. No, wait a minute. Yes, I am. Because sometimes you have to raise your voice when the volume of choice is the silence of the lambs. Ladies, how to expect a man to show you that he cares? Well, if we pay attention how some of you walk, talk, and dress, it seems like y'all don't give a damn. If you want a man to come at you with a different approach, you to show him that if he does so, it will garner a different result. Because if a man that is truly trying to get to know you gets the same no move as a dude that's only trying to hit, then at the end of the day, who is really to blame, that is all you end up with. And please, please don't blame it how quickly we might be trying to get you all to be intimate. Because I know that every woman has this sense of self-respect, and you want to make a man wait, and that's okay. But let me state that if you aren't doing anything differently after your first 3 months than after your first 3 dates, it's going to take you a whole lot more than 90 days of some good sex to make a man stay. The shit just does not work that way. Let me let you in on a little secret. You see, the same 5 minutes that you use to decide whether or not you're going to let that man lay you down, he's over there using those same 5 minutes to decide once he finally does if he's even going to stay around. So I shouldn't ask you why you won't leave him. You should start asking yourself, why am I staying? How do you expect to find the man that was meant for you if your actions aren't in line with what you're praying? And I'm just saying, I didn't write this through an idea of a good relationship. We're just losing patience with those who say that there are no good men, when it may be them who's on the complacent tip. Instead of stopping and trying to figure out what might be wrong with you, but you are quick to say that there are no good men by Steve Harvey's book, and let him tell you what to do. Think like a man, my ass. So let me break it down for you. If you don't understand your value, we will never value your wealth. If you're not saying anything of any substance, you are just wasting your breath. It's okay to follow somebody else's path, but please take your own steps. And I know in this world you can't do it alone, and sometimes you might need help. So it's okay to act like a lady, but baby, just make sure you are thinking for yourself. Thank you.